10 best anti-heroes in comics history. Ranked number 10, Catwoman. Catwoman, also known as Selina Kyle, is one of Batman's most famous enemies. She dresses like a cat and steals things, but she didn't start out that way for fun. Even though she mostly thinks about herself, Catwoman has helped Batman and his team a bunch of times. Some people say she's like a modern Robin Hood, but she doesn't always stick to helping others. Still, when Batman is around, Selina sometimes chooses to do the right thing, especially because she has a soft spot for him and his fancy billionaire charm. Number 9, Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is another one of Batman's well-known enemies, but she's not always easy to label as just a bad guy. To most people, she seems dangerous and even scary because she thinks humans are hurting the planet and don't deserve it. But if you look at things from the Earth's point of view, Poison Ivy is like a hero who wants to protect nature no matter what. She's both a good guy and a bad guy at the same time, depending on how you look at her. Lately, though, she's started to change a little. Her close friendship, and maybe more, with Harley Quinn, has helped her see that not all people are so bad. Ivy is now starting to believe that maybe people and nature can live together in peace. Still, her main goal is to protect the Earth, and she won't let anyone stop her, even if that means hurting them. Number 8, Ghost Rider. There have been a lot of different Ghost Riders, but Johnny Blaze is the one who shows how tricky being the Ghost Rider really is. He got his powers by making a deal with a demon named Mephisto to save his adoptive dad's life. That deal made him share his body with a fiery, angry spirit who wants to punish bad people. Even though Johnny tries to be a good guy, he doesn't always act like a regular hero. He's more focused on punishing the truly evil people than saving everyone. He doesn't worry much about life or death because he believes death just leads to another kind of life. Most people think Johnny Blaze is a good person deep down, but because of the scary spirit inside him, heroes like the Avengers aren't always sure they can trust him to do the right thing every time. Number 7, Black Adam. Black Adam started out as one of Shazam's biggest enemies, but over time he's become more like a hero, though not a perfect one. In the past few years, especially after a big event called Dark Knight's Death Metal, he changed his ways and started trying to protect people instead of just getting revenge. Because of this change, Superman even invited him to join the Justice League, and he stayed with them until another big event called Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. Black Adam still wants to make the world better, especially because of the pain and unfairness he saw back in ancient Egypt. But even though he wants to do the right thing, he sometimes struggles with his big ego and the power he gets from the Egyptian gods. So while he's trying to be a good guy, it's not always easy for him. Number 6, Peacemaker. Before joining DC Comics, Peacemaker was actually part of a different comic company called Charlton Comics. DC bought the company in the 1980s and brought Peacemaker into their world. At first, he was just a peaceful guy who wanted to solve problems without fighting. But after DC changed his story, he became a wild and violent hero who believes that using violence is the only way to get peace. That's why he's been part of crazy teams like the Doom Patrol and Suicide Squad. He's often the most out-of-control person on the team because of how seriously he takes his mission for peace. Lately, Peacemaker has gotten really popular, especially after he showed up in James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie and got his own show on HBO. Now that he's back in more comics, people are getting to see him try to figure out what peace really means, even if he still wears his funny helmet and loves explosions a little too much. Number 5, Darth Vader. Let's be clear, Darth Vader is not a hero, but before he became Vader, he was Anakin Skywalker, a Jedi who often had a hard time figuring out what was right and wrong. Even as a Jedi, Anakin did a lot of dangerous things, like attacking Tusken Raiders and carrying out secret missions, because he believed it was the right thing to do. What really pushed him toward the dark side was seeing how unfair and hypocritical the Jedi Order could be. At first, Anakin thought helping Palpatine and building the Galactic Empire might bring peace, but things quickly went wrong. As Darth Vader, he did a lot of terrible things. Still, he has had a few moments where he tried to do the right thing. Vader secretly tries to help Luke and stop the Emperor. He even ruins some of the Empire's plans just to give Luke and the rebels a better chance. So while he's mostly a villain, there's still a little bit of good in him. Number 4, Wolverine. Wolverine has lived for hundreds of years and gone through a lot of pain and suffering, so it makes sense that his idea of right and wrong is a bit mixed up. Even though he's clearly a hero and an important member of the X-Men, he doesn't really think of himself that way. He often says he's a bad guy who's done bad things, and he never forgets the people he's had to fight or kill. Still, when tough choices need to be made, Wolverine isn't afraid to do what others won't. If he thinks a dangerous or violent choice is the only way to help, he'll do it. He's been through so much, even going to actual hell, and he believes that when he dies, that's where he'll end up again. So to him, getting his hands dirty one more time doesn't matter, especially if it's to protect others or stop something worse. Number 3, Punisher. If his name didn't already give it away, the Punisher, also known as Frank Castle, is pretty much the perfect example of an anti-hero. He used to be a highly trained Marine with lots of medals and a long list of enemies he'd taken down, but after his wife and son were killed, he lost all trust in the justice system. From then on, all he cared about was making bad guys pay. The Punisher doesn't really care about fixing big problems like crime or corruption. Instead, he just wants to get rid of the bad people who slip through the cracks, like a one-man cleanup crew. He only works with others sometimes, and even then, they don't totally trust him. But because his actions are so straightforward, people sometimes use him like a weapon, either holding him back or letting him loose depending on what's needed. Number 2, Magneto. When Magneto first showed up in Marvel Comics, he was clearly a bad guy. He led a group called the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and didn't care what happened to regular people. Over time, though, we learned more about his past. He went through a lot of pain and loss, and it made him want to protect mutants no matter what, even if it meant hurting others. That's why many people still didn't see him as a hero. But things started to change when the island of Krakoa was created as a safe place for mutants. Magneto teamed up with Charles Xavier, his old enemy and friend, and started working toward peace. If peace fails, though, Magneto won't hesitate to fight back hard. But now he's more open to ignoring humans instead of destroying them, at least for now. Number 1, Spawn. Spawn is the perfect example of an anti-hero. Before he became Spawn, he was a decorated soldier, secret agent, and assassin named Al Simmons. He died and went to hell because of all the people he killed. But then he was brought back to life with dark magic so he could collect souls for a demon named Malebolgia. Like the Punisher, Spawn doesn't mind killing bad people. In fact, he doesn't feel bad at all. He knows they're going to hell anyway, so he just gets them there faster. He also doesn't worry much about being good or bad because he already believes he's stuck in hell forever. He tries to do what he thinks is right, but in his dark, violent way.